What's going on YouTube? Today, I thought we haven't really done an X-Men conversation in a while. So today I thought we'd do an X-Men conversation video talking about Mystique and, you know, Charles and, how she used to be an X-Men. Now, everybody's seen the original X-Men where Mystique was with Magneto and she was bad, but then we've seen the original X-Men where Mystique used to be an X-Men with Charles, and she was brought into the X-Men with Charles because she was in the mansion. But my question is, do you remember how in X-Men 2 or X-Men 1 where, Wolverine stabbed her because she was Wolverine and he was Wolverine and she got stabbed but she didn't die? That's what I'm saying. Alright, so my question is, how did Mystique get brought back? Now, it's not too far-fetched to think she could get brought back because, when Charles Xavier died by Jean, he was brought back in a different movie, right? Okay, cool. It's not too far-fetched. But my question is, do you remember how in Apocalypse or Dark Phoenix when Mystique died, I'm talking about got thrown through a house and wood went through her body and she died? She's dead. Not coming back. My question is, okay, let's just sit here and say that the X-Men timeline is messed up. There's too many different timelines to keep up with when it comes to X-Men. Okay? There's the original X-Men, where the X-Men started. Sabretooth, Wolverine's brother, is actually Victor, doesn't remember him when they run into each other. Wolverine and Logan, and Victor kind of butt heads. And then, do you remember how in Wolverine, how Deadpool was created, and that's where Deadpool started? But when you watch Deadpool 1 and 2, so I'm saying you connect the dots. But then you also look at Jean when she was a kid, and Eric after the CIA and after the first X-Men First Class when he was just chilling. Alright, so you remember when Magneto was chilling? Sorry, I had to get my dinner. See, I'm having dinner. Anyway, so you remember when Magneto was chilling and Eric and Charles were working together? How come in X-Men 3, they wanted to work together, which is cool, I guess, because Stryker came back. But do you see how the timeline from when Stryker was in Wolverine to how he's old, and let's talk about Nightcrawler. So I'm saying, do you remember how Kurt, was in X-Men Dark Phoenix, X-Men, I want to say Apocalypse, and stuff like that. He was a teleporter. How come, okay, now if you pay attention and look at X-Men 2 or X-Men 3, how come Kirk doesn't remember the X-Men from when he was an X-Men? Okay, it could be because the professor took it out of his mind. It could be because of the drugs that Stryker gave him when he was told to attack the president. Who knows? See what I'm saying? But Kirk was originally an X-Men. If you watch Dark Phoenix, if you watch Apocalypse, he was in there. But, see what I'm saying? This is just the timeline of the X-Men. This is why I say they need to make an X-Men grand finale that explains all the timelines and it comes together. Because there's too many pieces going too many different ways, to sit there and watch all these X-Men and to understand, in Logan, all the X-Men are dead because Charles had a seizure and something happened to him. And Wolverine, it's hard to keep up. In, what is it, Days of Future Past, Wolverine goes back in time and talks to, his younger self and Charles is not the same person he was, and how did Charles get to be this way, and okay, it's so messed up. So my thing is, they need to make an X-Men movie where the whole timeline explains everything, so you can kind of keep up with what it is. Anyway, I gotta eat my dinner. As you can see, I'm having steak and veggies and stuff. And anyway, if you thought this video was interesting, leave a comment below and let me know.